Hi everybody. Alright, so we are going to be introducing our concept that we've been working on this weekend but thinking about for a while now. And for animals, plastics are turning our ocean into a minefield. Creatures worldwide are dying from materials that we have made. They're not just dying, but they're also starving as a result of plastic getting into their food sources and getting puncturing their stomachs and getting into their bodies. 91% of us, this is according to government statistics, use our yellow bins to recycle waste, yet only 10% of the plastic produced in Australia is actually recycled. So, this bag is about a sixth of the bottle tops that just one container collection point in Toowoomba is thrown in the bin every single week. We want to go and fetch these bottle tops, wash them, chip them, and extrude them into high quality 3D printed wire. Most plastic bottle caps are made from HDPE plastic, which is a strong, durable, UV resistant plastic, and is actually 40% of all plastics produced in the world. All of this high quality plastic is going into landfill and into our waterways. So we've had three major assumptions that we've based our idea on and that we needed to test. Number one, can we get people to buy and use recycled plastic products? Two, can we obtain enough bottle caps to meet demand? And three, can we develop a good quality 3D filament that is safe to use and produces a high quality plastic product on the other end? So from our research, we found that bottle tops are not being recycled by the council. How many of you are aware that you cannot put the bottle top on your milk jug or on your plastic bottle into the yellow recycling bin? How many of you do it anyway? The Toowoomba Council states on its website, clear as day, that those bottle caps need to be removed and placed into general waste. And at in most of the collection facilities, they are requiring customers to bring in their bottles for recycling to remove those containers, place them in buckets, and those buckets of bottle tops are being placed in the bin. Bottle tops, when bottle tops are recycled by councils that do take them, this can simply mean burning them for gas, which is used to run power plants, which then emit more CO2 into the environment, or often plastics are simply chipped and buried in the ground, and us as Australians are not aware of this. A local plastics manufacturer we went and spoke to told us that when products claim to consist of recycled plastics, they're often just large offcuts from plastics manufacturing that are chipped down and reused. And from the end user, we learned that people are willing to use recycled filament as it's greener and their concerns about quality can be resolved with good research. So the growth in green consumers over the past 10 years has been astronomical, with a market size in 2014 of over 35 billion compared to only 3.4 billion in 1997. Consumers now care more than ever about the green industry, but they're not willing to support organisations that fake it. So we had a look at competitors, and we found through our research that there are a number of initiatives chipping away at the plastic waste crisis, but in every instance these organisations would make fantastic collaborators. One of the greatest challenges we face, though, is human behaviour and knowledge about plastic recycling. So this is our wonderful team. Our amazing Ethan has developed our logo and has done all our hard data analysis of the primary and secondary research that we've done. This is Paul. He's our tech guy. He figured out all the hard stuff. The wonderful Lisa over there developed our presentation and marketing, and I am a market research guru with some project management experience. And we want to work together to raise funds by approaching the Containers for Change initiative, as well as government grants, for equipment and warehouse space to start. We're going to work with the university to conduct research and development to ensure we produce a high quality filament. And our early adopters, such as the Makerspace from USQ, include 3D printer hubs, hobbyists and prototyping communities who will purchase our products through our local hub and e-commerce store. We will reuse discarded plastic, and consumers can return filament reels for refill at a discount. We will run paid workshops within the space for schools and other local communities to learn the process, dream, innovate and become part of the change. Longer term, we intend to produce plastic rods and pellets, and we will work with local industry to substitute recycled plastics into their products such as pipes, roads, parklands and fencing. We will have the capability to recycle all plastics.
Well done, lots in that. All right, questions for Tops Off?
A topic very close to my heart. Beautiful. So good. My question is, have you costed the necessary equipment and thought about how you might go about acquiring that?
That was one of our big questions. Yes. So we have two options. Our first initial thought was that we would approach the university engineering department and ask the students there. They're always looking for projects if they would be willing to build them as part of a USQ funded project. But then one of our beautiful mentors let us know that she had already costed up, started this concept, bought all the machines, had the space, put the ideas together, developed a feasibility study and was ready to switch the project on when it was cancelled. So those machines are actually in a warehouse, sitting there, unused, available for the taking, and we would have the option to purchase them at agreed upon amount. So we could locally, or we could raise some funding through possibly university or government support and go and purchase those machines and start almost straight away.
Other questions?
I think it's a really good idea. I think that have you researched, this is my first question, researched what has already been done in the area?
We did do some very extensive research and we have identified some amazing competitors. There is a company in New South Wales called Envision, and they are a social responsibility company that employs people with disabilities, and they collect the bottle tops, they produce them into 3D printing wire, and they turn them into artificial limbs for amputee survivors in third world countries. But they just service New South Wales. So we want to support their initiatives, but we want to bring the expertise and the capability up to Queensland. In Perth, there is an engineer who has been working with schools and local communities as a social sustainable part of his business that he does for fun and for a hobby, to recycle bottle caps into 3D printing filament that he then gives to the schools to use in their initiatives. It's a not-for-profit model. So both these organisations have proved that it can be done. But again, we would like to support them and work with them to bring the capability up into Queensland, because it's in Perth and it's in New South Wales, but it's not up here. There are Indigenous communities up north. Would you like to speak to that?
Yes, there's an initiative just started recently in Arnhem Land, and they are collecting, because there was a lot of trash around, so they're collecting general waste plastics and reusing them. So there's different types of plastics, so the bottle top ones aren't actually being recycled into 3D filament at all. They're generally using the plastics that can be recycled elsewhere. So initially we're actually going to be focusing on the plastics that aren't being recycled anywhere, but then the capabilities will be we can recycle anywhere, and it will be locally recycled, locally manufactured back into the local community to provide local jobs. And then we can scale it to other communities.
We want to build a model that can be scaled, not just the functionality.